Are you waiting for your drink? Are you? Huh? Are you needing a drink? Alright, well I can get that for you. Hang on a second. Oh, sorry, there's other things in the sink here. You ready? Yeah. There you go.
Hey, how are you today? I was just looking at one of our old rod puppets that we're going to put in the display. Maxie has put together the display from last week, as you remember, did a great job. And we're going to meet a new friend today that I'm sure you haven't met. His name is Truman, and he's a Fennec. Do you know what a Fennec is? Have you ever seen a Fennec? I'm sure you've seen a fox. A Fennec is very much like a fox, except it has much, much larger ears. And it's also a lot smaller than a fox. So while we're waiting for our new friend to show up, I thought we would look at these puppets a little bit and talk to you about a couple of them today. The one over there is named Mr. Punch. This one was made before most of your parents were born a long time ago, but he's even older than that because he was in a show called the Punch and Judy Show, and it was a hand puppet show in England. Very famous shows, and they were a little violent, so we never did any Punch and Judy shows, but we did make Mr. Punch. Another character we would like for you to see is named Asma. She was a character in the book series of the Oz books, which started with The Wizard of Oz. There were 14 of those books. Her story is in the second book, and it's a very fascinating story because she starts her life under some kind of a witch's spell, some kind of a curse, and she is turned into a little boy. And the little boy lives away from the Emerald City where she's supposed to be the actual ruler. And then later on in the book, the Scarecrow and the Tin Man help her find her true identity, and she turns into Asma, the Princess of Oz. Ah, here's our friend Truman. This is Truman the Fennec, the one I was telling you about. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, boys and girls, and all the people out there. Did you hear that?
Hear what?
I thought I heard something.
Well, I have a feeling that your ears are a lot better than mine. Say, you've been traveling for a while. Would you like a snack?
Could, yes, that'd be very nice.
Well, maybe I could make you a sandwich.
Oh, there's too much protein.
Maybe mac and cheese?
Too many carbs.
Well, how about something simple like a cookie?
Too much sugar.
Maybe a banana?
That's not sweet enough.
Well, everybody likes an apple. Do you want an apple?
Oh, the peeling gets in my teeth.
Okay, well, Maxie told me that you had some news.
Well, first, how do you like my new jacket?
Oh, your new jacket is very, very nice.
Part of it, starting a new job.
Oh, starting a new job? What's your job?
Well, my job is I've decided to become a stand-up comedian because I'm so funny and I'm great at telling jokes.
Oh, so that microphone is part of your job then?
That's right.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, a stand-up comedian is something that's a very special thing. A comedian is someone that's very funny, tells jokes and stands up in front of an audience and tells these funny stories. So,
you want to hear some jokes?
Well, sure, I would love to hear
so
some
busy
jokes.
Pontificating over there.
That's right. Thank you. So, tell us some jokes then.
There you go. All right, and here's one. What did one plate say to the other plate?
I don't know what.
Dinner is on me.
I see. Oh.
I heard another one. Why did the student eat his homework?
I don't know why.
Because the teacher told him it was a piece of cake.
Oh, that's very funny.
Another one. This is really good. I'm on a roll now.
Mm-hmm.
How do you talk to a giant?
I don't know. How do you talk to a giant?
Use big words.
That's another very good one.
What did the banana say to the dog? Nothing. Bananas can't talk.
Oh, that is very funny.
Why do bees have sticky hair?
I don't know. Why do bees have sticky hair?
Because they use a honeycomb.
That's very good.
Well, I'm sure you can listen to my jokes all day because I'm so funny. Well, I'm going to be getting back to my den. I've got to rehearse some more jokes, and this has been a whole lot of fun with everyone out there. So I'm looking forward to seeing everyone again, and the next time I'll be even funnier. Thanks very much. I can't believe this is going to be terrific. It's going to be so much fun.
But you know that conversation with Truman reminded me of a story about Jesus, because hey, everything does, doesn't it? The story I'm thinking about today is when Jesus' disciples meet with him. They often met with him around campfires and places like that, and they were troubled. And he said, "Do not let your hearts be troubled." And then he told them a little story about where he was going and where they were going to be going as well if they listened to his words. So Thomas, who was one of the disciples with him, who liked to ask a lot of questions, as you remember, said, "Well, how will we know where you're going? How will we know the way?" Well, Jesus answered to him, "I am the way and the truth and the life." Then Philip, one of the other disciples, said, "The way? We still don't understand what you're talking about." Well, Jesus looked at him and said, "If you know me, you know God, and I am the way." So Philip said to that, "Well, I need to have more explanation to show us God." And Jesus said, "Show us God? Haven't you seen what I've been doing?" Then he said to Philip, "The words that I'm saying are really not my words. They're the words of God. But if you don't believe God is in me and I'm in God, then look at what I do." And the truth is, they've been seeing Jesus do a lot of wonderful things for these years they'd been traveling with him. And they should have known through his works exactly who he was, because he was doing the works of God. They'd seen him healing people. They'd seen him changing people's lives. And when we think about our friend Truman, and we think about what he can't do, it's an interesting thing to think about what Jesus could do. Obviously, he did the works of God, and God was in him. But we listen to Truman, and we think about, well, what does a comedian really do? How does a comedian do his job? Well, for one thing, the comedian has to be funny, and Truman's jokes weren't very funny, were they? So we can think about Truman in the negative way we think about Jesus. What he did in his works didn't really show who he was, but what Jesus did in his works did show who he was.
So, thank you for introducing us to your friend Truman. Did that the sign work out? Well, I guess not. So, right now we're going to go outside and see our other friend, Daffy Dill. She's a riot in the garden.
I'm so excited because my new blooms are starting to show their little faces. Typically, these are not Easter plants, some of them. These are natural. They're blooming just at the right time, because the others, the ones you buy at nurseries, are hothouse freaks because their temperatures are arranged so that they'll bloom earlier in the year. That's kind of sad. But aren't these little darlings gorgeous? They're just so excited to be out here right now, and they're blooming, they're so happy, and they're out in the sun. This is just beautiful out here. Okay, back to you guys.
So I learned something from Daffy Dill every time she says something out there. Today, she told me her last name is Narcissus. I think she has Latin roots. Right. So it looks like Amanda's family has been having a lot of fun outdoors. Let's check it out. This beautiful little spot is Post Oak Creek in Sherman. The boys explored the creek for about 4 hours that day. They had to dig and sift for the shark teeth, but the shells kept them really busy. This is Goat Island Trail, Trinity Forest Trail, and Samuel Farm. They have definitely done lots of hiking and biking. We'll have to thank Aiden and Asher for taking us along on their trip that day. And now we need to check next door at the Stokes family chicken ranch, and let's see what Clucky and Nugget and all the little chickens are up to.
This is Clucky. Yes, another week of growth. She's got almost all of her head feathers in. You can see very little down poking through. Her brothers and sisters have been living out in the coop with her for a week now. There's Nugget. And they are getting big.
We're still setting up our puppet exhibit, and we'll show you a little more of that next time we get together. I had a good time today seeing what other people are doing besides the people around here and the cats as well. My favorite verse today in the story we told about Jesus was, "Do not let your hearts be troubled," and that's a good verse to remember this week and for a long time, as a matter of fact. So we'll see you next time, and until then, remember, do not let your hearts be troubled.